Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another SpellForce freecast. We are on Ancient City, and in the green color, this is our orc player playing as orcs, Farlan. On the other side, we have got a human. This is Galactic playing in the teal. Now we're gonna have the Wolfguard commander from our humans. Pretty solid hero, of course. And I think on Ancient City, where you don't get an easy level 5, this is the way to go. She'll eventually get there, and she's a lot more sustainable than the mage would be, especially against the occultist here from our orcs, who's a huge threat to any mage in these early levels, especially once the orcs get to tier 2. Speaking of getting to stuff, we've got a very standard build order here. A hunting cabin and double hunting cabin early on, actually, so we might see a bunch of early warg from Farlan getting a little bit of harassment done, maybe. As for Galactic, we've got an early guy in the stonecutter that is a little bit unusual. Otherwise just woodcutters, and the hunting cabin is being slowly filled in, so there's no early units whatsoever. And we've got scouting post down the horizontal line. No vertical expansion just yet. Farlan, on the other hand, might be going vertical. There was some attempts from both players with the scouts to pull away the creeps to slow down the hero leveling, but that didn't end up happening in the end, and we're not gonna have a vertical expansion pattern either from Farlan, so it's all pretty standard stuff. He's got the scouting post up, he's getting more lumber mills as he needs to do. Considering that he went for the early hunting cabin anyway. Now he doesn't have the wood that he needs. But hey, Farlan's Warg Rider actually stays alive. And he's dragging around these undead. Little does Galactic know where they are. Oh, he finds them. He finds them. Well done. Well done. Which is impressive because you can't actually see that far from that flag. As you can see, this is the edge of the line of sight. Anyway, level 3 is achieved for the Wolfguard commander, and I expect nothing but the left side being used here. Shadow Strike, Fatal Blow, Whirlwind, and a little bit of Brute Force. Yeah, that's very normal stuff. For Farlan, it's a little bit more interesting on the occultist here. Of course, we got the Demonic Pact, we've got Death Resilience, we've got Lacerate, which is the interesting part. A little bit of single target damage, an interrupt as well. I'm pretty sure. Yes, it's an interrupt. We've got the nullify, so there's essentially 2 interrupts. The pull also does that. It kind of counts as a knockdown almost. Then concentration allows him to do stuff more often, but he doesn't have any way to regain health other than potions, which is rather unusual for the occultist. Gonna share this XP pot over here, it looks like. Ooh, very nice to knock the Wolfguard commander on her, but a bit of a 1v1 situation we've got. The Wolfguard commander should be able to more or less win this, just because of the number of potions available. I think should be higher. Oh wait, that might not be actually the case. 2 potions for Galactic. Now 4 potions for Farlan, so he can keep doing this for a very, very long time. But the occultist is spending a lot of health on activating Demonic Pact and stuff like that. Oh, Galactic actually doesn't drink the last potion that he needed to there. Has to respawn the hero, and meanwhile Farlan not only just gains experience, he's already level 4, but he can go after the Medusa, which he does have a handful of wargs for. So interesting to see wargs over gobbles here. But it makes sense. I mean, these guys can stay at range, right? So it all adds up. Four Medusa at once getting pulled into this. And more wards are being created. Medusa are not taking it easy on the occultist, that's for sure. But the cleave damage is hitting 3 of them at the same time, so maybe the occultist can just get away with this, sort of. Also, more potions from the Medusa coming in. Slowing is very annoying for the occultist for sure. 2 Borg are already down, the 3rd one about to bite to dust as well. But I think the rest of the units should remain just fine here. Now the Wolf Guard Commander on the other side, not really easily able to engage this group. And we only have the 1st infantryman out now. We've got a double barracks here as well. And that's it as far as I can tell. Whoops, that's the wrong button. Yeah, no more barracks just now. This is usually the location where you put them, but Galactic is just gonna opt for a woodcutter instead of 2 additional barracks. Interesting. We've also got a firebomb as well as a weakening orb. Weakening these guys by 30%. The infantryman is probably gonna bite to dust there. That's unfortunate. Expensive loss, especially when you have to deal with all this orc stuff afterwards. Fodden is at level 5, which is absolutely hugely threatening. He's unlocked Sanguine Burst, so any bleeding units will just explode. That's how it works. We've got full level 3 Death Resilience, so the armor levels of the occultist will go crazy, and we've got Blood Like Tar, which is an aura that impairs people nearby and makes them bleed. So it's very easy to use that. Both Sanguine Burst as well as Blood Confluence. The Firebomb and the Spin to win, following on the Weakening Orb. Another Firebomb, but doesn't quite manage to kill the Scoundrel, and the hero goes down. Oh, Galactic is in actually a lot of trouble here. Got a handful of infantrymen and arbalists, but Fodden, I think, can take this fairly comfortably, but he's not going to commit because he wants the Scoundrel to regenerate, no doubt. The double barracks is being thrown down now for Galactic. He does have the resources for it. And all he needs now is a scouting post upgrade. But it looks like the barracks will be tanking the damage. And with that, he starts a demolishing process. Kind of would like to see him transfer the woodcutter workers, because that's a lot less important right now. The infantrymen are also totally not safe. Both is just a little bit too threatening for them. And of course, with Fodden capturing all these other outposts, look at this. He's got all the iron bases. This is 4 iron bases right now that he's got. Leaving Galactic with just these 2. And he's not going tier 2 just yet, so, right? He's focusing on the infantrymen. Whereas we have a Risen Kaurak for Galactic, for Fodden. So he's well in tier 2. He can establish his iron economy slowly. He's already got the first iron in the bank. And soon he will no doubt unlock the tier 2 units, but he doesn't yet have the War Pit for it to do so. Once he gets Hunters, pretty sure the hero is going to be in trouble. But maybe even before then. Frontier Outpost repairing itself pretty well. Maybe Fodden should prioritize killing these units first. That was a little bit ambitious, not gonna lie. I mean, half of this army is Warg. And the Warg do pierce damage, which means that these buildings resist 66% of that. That's a lot of percent. Ah, I've been sitting on my leg. It hurts. Ouch. Ouch. Don't do it at home. Anyway, we've got frontier posts coming up. Left and right, and this will upgrade in front of Galactic's face as well. Fodden can always teleport back and kind of deal with this. I think the Wolfguard Commander most likely just wants the potions from here, as there's a limited number of potions that you can buy. The vendors can run out, in fact. Ooh, that's a full heal on the occultist, but he gets weakened by 30%. That's at low health. Death Resilience kicks in, so he gets some armor back anyhow. Now, with the Wolfguard Commander in the back there, I do wonder, is she too surrounded here? The Scoundrel aren't doing much work. They just can't get there. But she still goes down. The occultist is too strong and the Warg Rider are backing this up. Well, this would put Farden on level 6. 2 more ability points available. I'm fairly sure he's just interested in power at this point. Can sell the focus potions, of course. Yeah, that's good stuff. We'll see what he spends on. Doesn't have any armor or weapons just yet. Those are expensive, so can sort that out later. Nice attack on this frontier post, but it's upgraded to a fortified outpost and it's getting repaired. Orc buildings aren't particularly strong, so this is actually doing a lot of work. Ooh, it's actually going down. That's very nice for Galactic. He needed a little win like this, but I'm pretty sure the occultist is about to go to full health. Yes, it is. Do we have any further weakening orbs, maybe? That would be a way forward for Fallen. Sorry, for Galactic to deal with Fallen's hero. I'm having trouble with the colors, actually, guys. Teal versus green, not the best pick in terms of visibility, so there is that. Both is now on full def resilience, 20% extra resists. Yeah, the Scoundrel just aren't getting the job done anymore. They might be able to get through this royal flag. Oh my goodness, they just managed to in time. But I think the occultist will drop this time around. He's got 4 potions, so I think he's just waiting for Galactic to come and kill it. Oh no, Farland does chuck the potion in the end. And now that the Scoundrel actually get on top of the Arbalist, they can cause a lot of damage there. The occultist goes back to full health again. A ton of the infantrymen are toast. Oh my goodness, it just turned around so quick. And now, beyond this, I mean, like I said, we've got the Risen Karak, we've got the War Pit, and I'm pretty sure Farland is gonna research some stuff. Whoa, Beast of Barga Gore. Are we getting another Wyvern game out of Farland? That seems to be entirely his plan. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. A lot of these infantrymen are bleeding and they get exploded on. Yikes. Clan Standard is not going to come up. There's just too many infantrymen. And Arbor is poking at it, but they're paying for it with their lives. So that kind of does matter. The Scoundrel getting on top of him. The Arborists don't have a lot of strike resist, so they can't really deal with this. The infantryman also bleeding profusely as the occultist is on top, bullying them with the aura. Wolfguard Commander can take a beating as well. Doesn't have any armor or weapons equipped. Everything was spent on the consumable items. Oh, and the occultist does get out in the end. Fallen has caused so much damage. He slowed down Galactic significantly. And really all he needs to do now is wait for that upgrade to kick in. Maybe upgrade the Warg, actually. That could be nice. Although the infantrymen are resistant against Pierce. I'm thinking Galactic will have to do a defensive teleport as well to protect this frontier outpost. It certainly seems doable. The occultist is having to use potions to tank this building. Only 1 more potion is available for Farland. But with Galactic not being tier 2 just yet, he's working on it, but he's not tier 2 just yet. He can't upgrade this to a fortified outpost. That makes it very killable, especially during Demonic Pact. Farland also siphons a little bit of health. He's got 1 last potion available, but he's not going to end up using it. Or maybe can't use it. Not sure what happened there. But level 5 is reached for Galactic. That's a very huge moment because he unlocks that Earth Shatter. And level 2 on Spin to Win wipes out most of the Warg. And suddenly Galactic is ahead in population for the first time in a long time against Fallen. So where's those tier 2 units now? We've got a watchtower, we've got a fortified outpost, so this is extremely difficult to beat back. Are we going just tier 3 into Trolls immediately? I don't see anything coming out of Fallen spaces that resembles a tier 2 unit. So that seems to be the case. He's just upgrading everything to Frontier Post while he gets Tier 3, which is 60% done already. And this is where the Occultist is going to respawn. How we do for resources. He could get himself an armor. Seems to be a good idea to me. And everything else was spent on Scoundrel. He no longer has a lot of food available. Earthshatter hits the Scoundrel pretty hard. They also had a spin to win on him. And Galactic is going to teleport out. I think he managed to dodge that explosion as well. Yeah, his units aren't terribly damaged, so should be all good. Either way, good defense by Farlan over here. Adding some extra iron mines, but I think should worry about a little bit of farming soon. That said, Tier 3 is successfully reached. Galactic is attacking this fortified outpost, 7,000 health total, so not that crazy. But it's still repairing itself pretty quickly. The infantrymen are being very nicely picked off. Earthshatter and Spin to Win combined can do a lot of work, but that's a lot of fire coming in, and we've got a double interruption method for Fallen. His Occultist reaches level 7, so the stats are getting pretty bonkers. He can't teleport out of here either. The Scoundrel are blocking the way out, but I bet Fallen wishes they would be fighting right now. Occultist is at 70% strike resist and 80% pierce resist at this point, so he can take this like a champ. No potions available, however, so he's being careful, making sure that the... Oh, he almost just killed himself with that ability use. If those units had focused him down, I think the Occultist could have died, but good usage of the siphoning. Galactic has paid for this attack very dearly. Look at all those infantryman corpses. This is all basic stuff from the orcs, so they can kind of support themselves here. We've got the first bunch of wyverns on the map. Was Fallen just opting for their upgrade, or what's going on here? Got the Bloodforge over here. He didn't get the Black Ash infused armor because he doesn't have Black Ash yet in the first place. They fight for the Cal and stuff like that. Yeah, no Black Ash being gathered right now. Anyway, Wolfguard Commander is back. And I'm assuming the Wyverns are coming over momentarily. There'll be a brutal way to deal with the infantrymen who have negative 25% magical resist. So those fire breaths are gonna be bonkers. We've got a bunch of iron mines now for Galactic and fortified outposts and whatnot. Even here in the corner. Wait, the Wyverns finally arrive in the fight. Let's check if he's going tier 3. Not just yet, not just yet. Galactic does need some time to get up in the food department. The other resources he technically has already. So tier 3 is a consideration. Support garrisons being created. Oh my god, that's a lot of support garrisons. Only support garrisons, in fact.
That should work.
Whoa, dude. Well, that's one way to spend your wood and iron. Anyway, we only have a handful of Wyverns for Fallen, so I wonder how that will turn out. Oh my goodness, look at that massive amount of damage coming through on the infantrymen. I'm not sure they will be able to escape all those Wyverns though. That's a lot of them. The Occultists will surprisingly find that there's very little in terms of potions available. For now, has to rely on regeneration. Farland has 4 Wyverns. And the Warguider have been upgraded. 70 pierce attack. Not bad, not bad. The upgrade does double their attack and gives them some extra 200 health. It's pretty good stuff. Got the first bunch of border fortresses available. And that should be the beginning of Black Ash collection. There are a bunch of extra hunting cabins that Fallen no longer needs, so he could turn them into some extra wood for himself. He needs that. Orc players always do benefit from having tons of extra towers and stuff. But yeah, Galactic's population once again looking quite healthy. He's got tons of catapults. Now these can't attack air units, however, so those vipers do remain scary. And after a little bit of harassment damage here from Fallen, I think he will have to turn back and actually protect his own base. Getting on top of these iron mines would be very nice. Galactic destroying them 2 at a time here with the splash damage from the catapults. They have a very small splash area, by the way, so it's mostly this fire that is long reaching, but the orc buildings are relatively weak, so this is quick work. They have been upgraded, but those upgrades don't actually affect the central buildings. Okay, it looks like Fall is more interested in trading away the bases, but I'm not sure that's actually working out. Great Earth Shatter from Galactic coming through, but all these infantrymen are bleeding and taking damage from the Wyverns is not something that they can easily do at all. Looks like the Occultist is just going to be the tank. Galactic right-clicked it, and that's not going to work out very well for him. Wyverns have been attacked a little bit by ranged firepower, but they are upgraded, so they have now over 200 extra health. They have some resistance upgrades. They have the damage upgrade. Galactic's army has been officially wiped. There's very little left, just a bunch of catapults and arbalists. Although his population is looking good, so he's got the reinforcements coming in. Let's see if that works out for him. There is still the Occultist available, mind you, so this is very problematic for sure. But you know, the Wyverns can defeat these catapults uncontested, and Galactic's population is dropping hard from this. Oh, wow. That's rough, buddy. Well, the base trade is complete. Wonder what Fallen's next move is going to be. Right now, we're not seeing him produce much of anything, since he doesn't have food available, so it's gonna stay like that for a while. Farms are gonna be urgently required. There's plenty in the main base. Almost none here. I mean, you still got the hunting cabin running, so fair enough. This is now turning into a border fortress. Adding Ravagers is interesting. Those will help a lot against the Arbalists, especially once upgraded. And considering the fact that Galactic is just going to need a lot of Arbalists now to deal with the Wyverns, that seems to be a really good choice. Thrill of the Hunt is on the way as well, so these Ravagers will be fast. Then we've got the Shaman Incinerate upgrade coming. The War Pit is already done with its work, so we'll have the Pesserers. Ranged gobos. Those will help a little bit with oiling people up. And the Shamans and the Wyverns will ignite that oil, incinerating the enemies. Wow, all that splash damage is doing so much work. On the ground, it looks like Galactic is winning, but in the air, we've got all these Drakes, and that's some nasty damage they're bringing to the table. One of them goes poof. There's still plenty of Arbalists left. I really like the spread, by the way. This is a good way to deal with the Occultists. Just keep splitting up your Arbalists and make this guy walk a lot. Occultist just keeps getting healthier over time, despite all this firepower coming in. You know what? Actually, these Wyverns are kind of struggling. The fires reach all the way up to the sky. Almost all splash damage like that does hit the air units. Looks like the Occultists will be getting away for now. Fallen only on 62 population. This game has never really gotten to the later stages. We just have some fancy units, but we never really get past 100 population. Kind of wild that these guys can trade away like that. I like the addition of the Pestilers now. That will make the Wyverns so much more powerful. And if there should be any shamans, them as well. So Galactic has reached tier 3 himself. See what he's been doing in the forge. Nothing actually. Big fat nothing. He's been getting some food upgrades, I guess. As for buildings, he's just got the support garrisons. None of them are drill halls, so he's not going to be able to make a single champion here. Completely relying on catapults now. This is going to be interesting. Well, we've got all the Ravagers here. And also here come the Wyverns. We've got so many War Riders for Farland. Definitely would like to see him making a bunch of Shamans, because he's got all this black ash. But yeah, Galactic will have to turn around here. The Ravagers are just a little bit too brutal to face underground while all this is going on too at the same time. Catapults getting destroyed left and right. This is very problematic. Hero getting pulled in, and so much firepower focusing her down. Never had a chance. Tries to teleport out, but isn't gonna work. It looks to me that Farland has absolutely destroyed his human army. What can Galactic really do at this point? He only has food left. I assume he's gonna try to make a bunch of drill halls at this point. No? Academies are coming in. Okay. But he doesn't have Aria, so he can really only make chickens. Yeah, I don't know about chickens right now. Puppies can kind of deal with them to a degree. We got armored puppies. Not a bad tool at all against the outposts. Catapult still trying to set the ground on fire, but it looks like Galactic is toast to me, ladies and gentlemen. I think Farland has finally done it. We'll need a little bit of fire-based units to ignite that oil deflection from the Pesters, which by the way is really powerful in and of itself. Minus 20% movement speed and minus 16% attack and casting speeds. That's pretty good stuff. But when it comes to ignition, that's the real business. Here, 50 magic damage per second if you can ignite the oil. That's a lot. It's actually more than the raw DPS of these guys. The Wyverns basically divide their damage here by 3. So yeah. Ignition good. While splitting up his group. Gonna hit the iron mine on the far side, or actually it's just the frontier outpost. The Ravagers should be able to destroy that actually by themselves. I'm not sure if there's quite enough firepower here to defend against all this. So it might be possible for Galactic to teleport in, but his army is too split from the hero. If they had maybe converged on each other, this could have been safe, but not like this. Another base drops. And another one. Yeah, the Ravagers can take it. 40% pierce resistance after all the upgrades. These human bases barely do anything to them. Whereas, let's say, Dark Elves and Dwarves, with their magic damage buildings, would do a lot more. Orcs as well do magic damage, but their buildings are weaker, so it doesn't matter as much. More Wyverns, and finally Shamans coming out as well. But yeah, basically the Shamans are just Wyverns on the ground, so That's nice, and it gives Fallen a way to spend his Black Ash, although I wouldn't be opposed to seeing some totem towers. Galactic holding on to dear life here, man. Not a single unit has been upgraded, I don't think. Yeah, I don't see any upgrades on them. Go into the forge. Nope. It's all there. No upgrades. Wyvern's looking for some free damage, or maybe Fallen's just putting them away so that he can surprise this group. We've got a bunch of Mentalists, however, for Galactic. That's his one saving grace. However, the hero gets pulled down and interrupted. Okay, still manages to do the trick, but all these old enemies are getting ignited here. So many Ravagers on the field for Fallen. Everybody's regenerating here momentarily, so that will be a whole lot of hit points getting restored at once on this massive army, by the way. And as much as the Mentalists are cool units, they really need the Flag Bearers to help them out doing some more damage, because 75 is not a lot to begin with. They have a special impairment ability, by the way, which reduces... it's basically like oiled, but their version. We've got Commander getting focus fired by absolutely everything and gets absolutely wrecked. That wasn't even close. The Ignition once again showing its power, and Galactic gives up. Fallen takes the game. Very nicely done against a multiple times tournament champion, so very impressive for sure. I do like the matchup for Orcs in general on this map, but still a very cool game. There's more coming, so make sure to like and subscribe on your way out. Join the Discord, etc. See you around.